So, good evening, good evening, good evening. We are back again from a wet and windy, cold, soaking, rainy Spain. And yeah, Ian, you're right. Winter has arrived today, that's for sure, mate. Very, very, well, I wouldn't say cold, but it's not very nice outside, put it that way. But we are going to discuss yet another victory. Man City dropping points. Is there a crisis at City? Have we bridged the gap? And how are we feeling about the game tomorrow against Luton? Because if we can get the points on the board tomorrow, the pressure is well and truly on City on Wednesday away to Mr. Good Evening. But we shall see. Big up to everyone inside. Sub to the channel. I'm live with Henry at 6 p.m. UK. And then I'm doing a Celta Vigo Cadiz watch along. Yes, come on. But Jez, happy Monday, mate. How are you?
All good, man. Yeah. You say it's cold there. You want to be over here? Bloody freezing here, man. We've had snow, we've had the lot, everything. Snow's gone now, but it wasn't a lot. It was a little, panic like we do over here in the UK. But it's all good. Looking forward to the game tomorrow night, which is interesting because I'm doing a show a bit later talking about some of the history of our games against Luton, and I can tell you, away against Luton, we haven't been very good. So but. Yeah, looking forward to the show.
Let's get about the cup, the better, mate. Yeah?
It got worse after that, let me tell you.
Kenny, fresh trim. You're looking good, mate. How are you? Happy Monday.
I'm all good. I thought that there was a national crisis on Saturday because Man United lost a match, but I'd say the sooner people get used to that, the better. And we had a situation on Twitter where there's a few pork chops who do not understand the rivalry between ourselves and Spurs. They were cheering Spurs goals that went in against Man City. And I keep saying, why cheer Spurs goals? If you're an Arsenal fan, you can't be an Arsenal fan and want Spurs to win any sort of game. You should always want Spurs to lose.
We're the negative ones. We're the toxic ones. Yeah,
exactly. Exactly. I've ruined one guy.
Funny old game, isn't it?
Yeah, I ruined one guy because I said to him, he started going, "Oh yeah, think of the bigger pictures." Excuse me, mate. Don't you dare even tell me to bring you a bigger picture. And I say it to all these people, and I'm going to say it once, and I'm probably going to say it again. Man United are not our rivals; they're our competitors. Liverpool are not our rivals; they're our competitors between Dalglish and Graham. Chelsea are not our rivals. They're our London rivals, but they're not our rivals. Our rivals are Spurs. So just because you got bullied at school by Man United fans, because I know a lot of you Man United fans don't live in South Manchester or Manchester. You go to schools all over London, all over the country. You seem to think that because your best mate is a Man United fan, or your brother's a Man United fan, or the school bully's a Man United fan, you think that your rivalry should transfer into real life. Well, I've got a news flash to you. It doesn't. So take your little playground rivalries and stick it up your arse. Tottenham are right. They are rivals today. They are rivals yesterday. And they're going to be our rivals in the future. Get it? Do never, ever cheer Tottenham goals. All right?
I ain't arguing with you, Kenny. Well, there we go. That's one way of starting a show. Come on, big up to everyone inside. Over 200 in here. It's going to be a good show, man. I think the only place we should start is obviously our game. We'll come on to the game against Luton a little bit later, and City as well, obviously against Tottenham. But yeah, let's take it back to Saturday, Jez. We obviously slapped up Lon's 6 in the week, and we're thinking, boy, that was good. We want to see some more of that. And we came out the traps, bish bash bosh, 2 goals, coasting, lovely jubbly, missing sitter after sitter after sitter, and then number 35 gifts them a goal, and all of a sudden, the last 5 minutes plus stoppage time, we're kind of on the edge of our seats thinking, how is this potentially in the balance? But all in all, after the results at the weekend and some of the performances from teams that are also in Europe, Man City, Liverpool, etc., turned out to be a good result in the end.
Yeah, 3 points. The only point, we did start so amazingly well. Some of that slick passing, it was reminiscent of the glory days. You can't deny it. The interplay in the 18-yard box was just amazing. It's a joy to watch. And the thing is, what's nice is when you suddenly look at the clock of the game, right? And you suddenly look and think, wow, it's 35 minutes. Feels like I've been looking for 15. I don't want this to end. And it was great, brilliant, absolutely fantastic. God knows what happened in the changing room at half time. I don't know what team talk he did, but we came out a different team. We looked lackluster again. We didn't take the opportunities. I personally would say, and I said it to you on the fan cams and whatever, he got his subs wrong. It was a bit too late, and we put ourselves in trouble. And this is what annoys me, Lee, Kenny. We put ourselves under pressure when we don't need to. We were coasting along on the crest of the wave there, I thought this is going to be 4-0 at half time. Game over. Job done. Thanks very much. See you later. Another 3 points. Yeah, we got the 3 points, but we struggled because I don't know what happened. We just went to sleep, and we can't afford to do that. Yes, great results in favour of Arsenal. Can't deny it. Fantastic. I'll take them all day long and twice on a bloody Sunday. But the fact is, we've got to kill teams off. We did it against Long. I mean, they were poor, but Wolves were there for the taking big time, and we didn't do it, and we got lucky. I'm sorry to say it, we did get lucky. We were under pressure, man, and I was sat here seriously after being so confident, and I'm now sitting here like with 10 minutes to go. I'm thinking, oh Christ, are we going to get out of this one? Is it going to be a 2-2, or worse? But we got away with it. But I don't like that situation. Go out, kill teams off. When you're 2-0 up, take them to the cleaners. Bad substitutions for me.
Yeah, but I tend to agree. It was brought to my attention earlier, by the way. The 11 goals we've conceded this season in the league, 7 have been at home. Yeah, our away form, like conceding wise, is impeccable, and it was last season because our home goals against last season was equally as bad. Yeah, and I don't know whether, Kenny, that's down to just complacency because the games are too easy. I mean, that Wolves game, Odegaard put about 2 or 3 on a plate. I don't know whether it's just we get a bit complacent and it's like, oh, this is too easy, and then it was switch off, and all of a sudden, bang, goal. You can't switch off in the Premier League.
I think it's last season. A lot of it is done that there's indiscipline in the midfield and indiscipline from our flank players. And Shevchenko not being up to it defensively, that's what done us at home. And we had a goalkeeper in Aaron Ramsdale who's just not good enough. He kept on with his clearances, kept on going to the opposition, and that enabled the opposition to get control of some aspects of the match, especially at the Emirates. That's why we can see a lot of goals, which costs the title, no doubt. Our goals against and an inability to keep clean sheets in a running cost us the title blatantly. And obviously the fact we bottled it. But I think this season, what's happened in the game itself, the first 15 minutes, 2 great goals. Good goal by Saka, and then Odegaard scored a brilliant goal as well, which was set up by Zinchenko, I thought played really well. But after that, after 30 minutes, it was a case of us trying to contain Wolves, make ourselves difficult to break down and see if we can get them on a counter-attack. So the game just went into a bit of a nothingness until we made substitutions which hurt us more than it helped us, because what the situation is, you brought in Eddie. Now, no respect against Eddie, but there was a relationship between all the players, attacking-wise and defensive-wise, before subs came on. So, because there was a flow in the game, you bring Eddie on, the flow goes. You bring other players on, the flow goes. And what happens? We're all the substitutes are trying to get in the game. Wolves are getting more impotence. They're making more attacks. They're getting into our back four, and they scored a goal because we relaxed the game score. Zinchenko made his customary mistake, and that's what happened. And I think that's the situation. We've got to be able to, in the league, decide where we're going to play attacking football and stick to it. Don't try to play attacking football and safety first. And I think it's down to the manager. He's so scared of what happened last season, where teams control certain phases as a play. They got out back four and they scored goals. And he's thinking, you know what? I need to make us tighten up. So this way, when we do, like I said, go in front, we'll be one, difficult breakdown, and two, it can help us in the long run. I think this is probably how we're going to play for this season, that we're going to open the floodgates, then shut them, then try and open them again. And I think that's where teams are going to get a lot of impetus. I don't think it's going to be an issue on Tuesday against Luton, although Luton are going to come at us. And I think it was a case of, playing horses for courses Eddie to see if he could score against, inferior opposition. But Aston Villa, Brighton and Liverpool, if you want to see exciting football where we're on the front foot and going at Villa, at Brighton, at Liverpool, you can forget it. Maybe Brighton at home, but against Liverpool and Villa, it's going to be on the break football. Get used to it, resign yourself to it, because I think that's how you're going to play, because there's still an element of distrust from our manager towards, our attackers and our attacking play. He's scared of being done tactically or done defensively.
Yeah, I agree. Listen, I understand why he's being cautious. Yeah, because we did capitulate, but at the same time, we've got it within us to go and pop teams 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we look at the way we started against Lons. Look at the way we started against Wolves. Look at the way we played up until Christmas, maybe January, February as well last year or into this year. Like, we have got that in us, but when a game's there for the taking, you're 2-0 up, and all you got to do is just get that third goal. Yeah, I mean, listen, the manager ain't at fault for Eddie hitting the post. Let's be real, he ain't at fault for. Well, I suppose he picks the players, maybe he is, but you can't. The amount of chances we had, we should have won that game comfortably. We could have been 4 or 5 up at half time. Yeah, and it's just jarring, man. But having said that, it didn't really matter because City have dropped points. Yeah, again, they've dropped points in 5 games this season. 2 losses on the spin, and then 3 draws. Is it 2 or 3 in a row? I think they've had 3 in a row, haven't they? So yeah, they're dropping points and they're conceding goals. We've got the best defense in the league, but like I said, our home form, the amount of goals we're conceding at home is worrying again. Like I said, we've conceded 11 goals and 7 have come at home. Yeah, and if we could just be as good,
was it 4 of them against Tottenham and Fulham, wasn't it? So
yeah,
that's 2. Yeah. Fulham, 4, yeah.
Yeah, 4 plus Man United. Forest scored. Who else was the other one? And then Wolves, yeah. Yeah, it's 7. But that's like 5 different games out of 7 home games we've had. So it's almost conceding a goal a game nearly at home. Yeah, over the course of them. That's worrying. Yeah, that's worrying because our away goals conceded 4. That's pretty decent. Let's be real. 4 goals conceded away from home is sick. If we could do that at home, yeah, and tighten up at home, yeah, and just stay switched on for the full 90. Because if you look at some of the goals we conceded, I mean, the one at the weekend was pathetic. Yeah, right, just lackadaisical defending. Yeah, the Jorginho one against Tottenham, shocking. In fact, you could even go to the first goal against Tottenham. Their goalkeeper flaps at it. Saka don't look at Maddison. Bang, it's in the back of the net. Yeah, again, shocking. Now, the Man United game, again, weren't great, was it?
Do you think
even the Forest one?
Lee, Kenny, do you think maybe we're a little bit overconfident at home?
I think so.
Yeah, 100% we are, because we would. To be honest, it's understandable we're overconfident, because you think about it, we scored in the first 3 or 5 minutes, then we scored 9 minutes later, 2-0. Wolves are all over the place. It was a case where if we get the third goal, that's game over. And then Wolves have either got a decision, either try and get back in the game or keep the score down. I think, if you think about it, when you win 6-0, you can't wait for the next game, especially and more for it if it's at home. So it was always going to be on that thing, because he virtually played the same team, but he changed it by bringing Trossard and for more control in the midfield, and he left that Kai Havertz and just said, bring him on in the second half. So same players.
Yeah, 100%. Well, I'm glad you've mentioned Trossard. Jez, what do you make of him in midfield? Because he's played there a few times for us, and he was the only real disappointment for me at the weekend. And I like him. I think he's a top player, but I don't want to see you in midfield. It can work in certain games, but then it's like if you're going to do that, why don't we just buy a midfielder? He's not a midfielder. I know he's very good on the ball. Technically, he's pretty sound. Yeah, and I know he missed a good chance at the weekend as well. Another one that missed a sitter. But I don't really want to see him as a number 8. No. Yeah, because I think defensively he's not very good. Yeah, and he's not used to playing that number 8 role. So now he's got players running past him left, right, and centre. Whereas when you're playing on the wing, you know you just got to get up and down. When you're playing at number 9, you know you just got to be alert for when the ball's coming in and make a run. When you're playing at number 8, you've got players running around you, and it's so quick. Yeah, all of a sudden, you get run through. I thought he was poor, man. I thought he was the only player that was poor. I thought everyone played really well, but I was very disappointed with him at the weekend, man.
I just think I totally agree. I mean, when we did our player ratings, he got one of the lowest ratings of that team. I gave him a 6. Most of the other players in that team, apart from some of the substitutes, got 7s, 8s. I wasn't impressed with him at all, actually. I don't like him playing there. It's not his, as you quite rightly said, it's not his natural position. I much prefer him up front. And he's proven that fact. When he's up front, he can be deadly. His command of the game, the fact that he actually can distribute the ball beautifully, which we've seen, dare I say it, from his corners, yeah? Unlike Martinelli at times has been pretty poor this season with his corners. Trossard is in there. And I don't like that one. It left us a little bit weak down that left flank, but maybe that's something he's got to learn. Maybe that, I don't know. But he put us in a weak spot. That's how I'm going to put it. I like the guy. I actually rate that guy. I think he's a class footballer, and I think he'll go on to become better and better. But if this is something new that Arteta's trying, I'm not convinced. I'd rather him play as a 9, as you say, but we don't know with Arteta, do we? He likes to tinker, and that causes problems in my view. But we'll see what happens. Yes, he did miss a couple of good sitters. So we can't afford to do that. There's no way. If we're going to go on, dare I say this? We're in the same position we were this time last year. Thankfully, we've got no stupid World Cup at Christmas. Will we kick on? Should we be all sitting here being hopeful and looking at the unicorns and all that sort of thing? Not just yet. I see a lot of people getting very carried away about the fact we're number 1 and we're going to be playing a team tomorrow in 17th. Well, let me tell you, that ain't an easy day out, because if you look at the history, it ain't good at Kenilworth Road. So the fact remains, I'm not going to get overgassed just yet. I'm happy. I'm positive. We're going in the right direction. But no, I'm not celebrating just yet.
No, listen, if we've learned one thing from last season, is let's not get carried away. Yeah, even an 8-point lead got clawed back, and we're currently 3 ahead of them. We can go 6 clear of them. But obviously Liverpool got the job done in the end. But Kenny, what do you make of Trossard in midfield?
Well, if Trossard in general, if Trossard had the pace of Martinelli, we're talking top world-class goalkeeper. Sorry, world-class player. I just got distracted because I said Aaron Ramsey, I linked to Newcastle. A world-class, because I think that's where sometimes you look at Trossard and you know that he's got good passing ability, he's got good skill, and he's got a great goal threat. But maybe it's just that yard of pace. If you had that extra yard of pace, I think we'll see probably. We've seen really good performances of him overall, but we could see really, really top-class performances of him. And I think it's just a lack of pace. But apart from that, in the midfield, he's there because of his. I suppose he wants Trossard, who's a forward-thinking player, to do what Xhaka did, and he's probably better equipped to do what Xhaka did last season, where he can, lend himself down the left-hand side alongside Zinchenko and Martinelli, or lend himself into goal-scoring positions because it's a more natural. Although, he's tried Kai there, and Kai Havertz, that is, and it hasn't really materialised on a consistent basis. Whereas he probably thinks, well, Trossard's a more attacking player. He hasn't really let me down. But the thing with Trossard is that this season, so far, when he started games, there's been a few moments where I think he's dropped the ball, where you can't argue with his substitution, either at the start of the second half or even early in the second half, because I don't know, we're in this situation where he's probably better come from the bench than he is when he starts. And I think that's been the theme this season. But I'll put it down to if he had an extra yard of pace, maybe that might, help him more in the game. But at the end of the day, it's natural. You've got an extra yard of pace or you haven't. But I think that where he's been playing midfield, he should try and use that opportunity that he's been given to play in that jacket position, because he should be more naturally suited to it than Granit. He's a good footballer and an intelligent footballer, and he has a goals threat. So, he shouldn't be dropping the ball as he has done quite a few times this season when he started.
Yeah, mate, I totally agree. Listen, big up everybody inside, by the way. Make sure you are smashing the likes up. That would be great. There's over 300 in here, so make sure you are smashing these likes up. I'm going to be live with Henry shortly, in an hour from now, and then I'm doing a watch along for Celta Vigo versus Cadiz. Game of the day. Rafa Benitez struggling, 1 win in 14 league games this season, sat 18th in the league. So yeah, they're in big trouble, mate. They've won 1 out of 14 this season, and
I'd be out of a job. Rafa be out of a job.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100%. Mate, he's
well,
on the
Sheffield United job's available.
Oh, have they sacked him?
I think, well, he's 100% going to get sacked, isn't he, Higginbottom?
Well, listen, they can sack him all they like, yeah? Yeah, they should sack the board. Yeah, they literally spent, 20 million quid in the summer and sold their 2 best players. Yeah, I think they might have spent less than that. They might have even made profit. They sold their 2 best players. Yeah, so it's all well and good sacking him. They were never getting in this league to want to stay here. Otherwise, they would have spent the money and not sold their 2 best players. So they can sack him all they want. Who are they going to get?
I'm hearing they're looking at Chris Wilder again. Chris Wilder come back.
Jesus, turn it in.
I know.
Turn it in, mate. Like, are they for real? Like this is why I get the ump with some of these clubs, man, because it's like you've come up, you've been promoted, right? And you've literally not even bothered to spend any money out of that promotion money. Yeah. And you've not even bothered to have a go. Yeah. Now you're going to sack your manager. Well, what's he supposed to do? Yeah. He should have sacked himself and said, bollocks, I'm out of here.
Oh, yes.
No, as soon as they said, we're not backing you, he should have done one. But it is what it is, isn't it? It is what it is. But yeah, make sure you're smashing the likes up. Big up to everyone who donated as well. Appreciate that, man. And you've noticed, so I nearly read that as Mesut Ozil then. Martin Odegaard is playing a bit deeper. He did in that game against Wolves. I thought he was good. I thought he was really good. That was one of his best performances. Well, probably the best performance this season, because he ain't been great, has he? But that performance at the weekend, literally, he got robbed of a couple of assists. And Eddie Nketiah should hang his head in shame and needs to be binned in January. But yeah, I thought he played really well at the weekend, man. Really, really well. And listen, he took his finish well. But we see that last season. Yeah, take shots on your left foot, do the keeper with the eyes, whip the ball bottom corner. You're aiming over, your eyes are over there, and you're whipping it bottom side on the opposite side. Yeah, we know he's got the ability. You know, we just want to see it more. But yeah, he played really well at the weekend, man. Big up Lee Chappie in the building as well, man. Yeah, long time, man. Long time. Leicester looked like they were about to bottle a title as well.
Yeah.
How far gone were they? They were talking about record-breaking points and all of that. It's all gone a bit south, man. It's all gone a bit south.
They won at the weekend. They won at the weekend against West Brom, 2-1.
Yeah, they did, but they're only 1 point clear, and they were about 7 clear at one point.
Oh, yeah, they dropped points at against Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah, they've lost 3 games now, man. Yeah, they lost to Middlesbrough. They lost to Leeds. Who else did they lose to? Somebody else. But yeah, it's all gone a little bit south for them. Sheffield Wednesday, they drew. So yeah, they won 2-1 at the weekend. But yeah, they should come up. Jamie Vardy's still doing his thing, still playing. But yeah, man. Right, listen, big up to everyone in here, man. Nearly 400 inside. Smash the likes. Pinned comment is Jez's channel, Arsenal History and More. And it is also Kenny Ken 1972's Insta. Let's move on to City before we come to the Arsenal Luton game tomorrow. Jez, we sat there yesterday, watched them go 1-0 down. Watched them go 2-1 up, missed more chances than we missed at the weekend. Erling Haaland missing 2 absolute sitters. Doku hitting the bar and then the post as it come out. Alvarez hitting the post. They scored 3 goals and ultimately ended up throwing it in the bin. They drew the game. Refereeing controversy. I mean, is there a conspiracy against City this season, people? Because the referee played advantage. Grealish is through and he pulls it back. I mean, are they trying to stop City win it now, Jez? I don't know. But what did you make of them, man? Because they've drawn 3 on the spin after losing 2 on the spin. Jack Grealish kicking the ball away has got him a suspension against Villa, which I'm pretty sure Pep's fuming about because he literally kicked the ball away, petulant. And Rodri's suspended. And Erling Haaland could be suspended for his antics after the game on the pitch and on Twitter, where he quote tweeted the referee playing advantage and then bringing it back. But what do you make of them, mate?
Well, what can I say? I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it. You know, the fact that they're in the crap is brilliant. This conspiracy theory, I'm not falling for that old one. There's no conspiracies. It's just, I'm sorry, the fact that there's some bloody awful refereeing going on in the current Premier League. It's as simple as that. I don't know what some of these referees are thinking at times. And if Haaland gets a ban for what he said, well, quite right. At the end of the day, if you're a professional footballer, if the decision doesn't go your way, shut your mouth. And for what Pep Guardiola said, that I'm not going to do an Arteta, well, you can go shut yourself as well, mate, because at the end of the day, you're crying like a little bitch now, and take it on the chin. We've all had it. It happens to every single football club. It's highlighted more with Man United, Man City, Arsenal, basically the top 6. Basically the top 6. Because at the end of the day, there is no conspiracy. It's just crap officiating. You know, that is the problem. Let Grealish go through, then call it back. I mean, what's going on there? You've played the advantage. Yeah, that's what that law is for. You've given the advantage, and then you call it back. That is just poor. And yeah, I've got no time for it, to be honest. It proved what game was I watching? It was in a European game the other night. Oh, who was it? Can't remember. But there was some bloody awful VAR officiating in that.
Mate, I watched the Girona Valencia game on Saturday before our game kicked off. 2 offside goals in that weren't offside. VAR ruled them off.
This is the whole thing. It's just poor. I just don't understand, Lee, Kenny, how it can be made so wrong. There's so many bloody cameras around a pitch now. They can look at it from every single angle. They can look it up. They can look at it from up the goalkeeper's arse if they want. Right? The fact is, it's just poor. And there's no conspiracies. That's bullshit. There's no conspiracies.
See, I just think they're crap. I just think but they're crap for everyone. And that's my point. They're crap for everyone. You know? And if you have to rely on a refereeing decision, right? Erling Haaland can cry all he likes. Yeah, the referee didn't make him shank one straight out of the stadium and then miss a sitter before that. Like, do you know what I'm saying? If he scores that to go 3-1 up, the game's dead and buried. They ain't coming back from that. Yeah, but to get it back and then go 3-2 up, obviously it's a ping pong match. But if they went 3-1 up, Spurs are finished at that point. Yeah, and they had enough chances. What do you make of it all, Kenny?
I thought it was a very good game of football. I thought yesterday everything was mad. Liverpool 4-3 against Fulham. The Chelsea game was mental. That was never a penalty. Chelsea's third goal, and the referee gives a penalty when it hits a Chelsea player in the face. And then obviously you had the Villa game. But you know, going back to the main game, which is the Super Sunday game, City versus Spurs. I don't know what Spurs haven't put in their coffee before they play Man City. They're the only team, bar Liverpool, that have no fear of Man City. They play Man City and they expect to get a result or win it. I don't know. You've got to admire the front of their manager. With a depleted team, no Maddison, no Romero, no Van der Veen. You know, you know, like I said, Sar's out, his first choice, and he's just gone to City. He said, "That's how I play." To the extent that their first goal was front in itself. They were on the cosh, and then they turned two passes. They turned, you know, defensive attack, and they scored. Unbelievable. And then the second goal by Lo Celso was a good goal. And again, 3-2 down, should have been game over. Haaland didn't have his shooting boots on, you know, and, you know, as you said, Alvarez hit the post, Doku hit the post, and, you know, when Grealish scored, I thought, that's it, it's over. And then, you know, Kulusevski, who's had a good game, makes it 3-3. But saying that, Man City have shown to be fallible with Rodri in the side, without Rodri. Conceding 4 against Chelsea isn't championship form. You know, Liverpool, that was a 6-pointer. Liverpool had the attackers who can go to City and think, you know what, we're not going to lose against them because I know we'll score goals. So are City in bad form? Well, their biggest miss is De Bruyne. Doesn't matter, you know, how many games and Rodri misses or whether Grealish misses. I think De Bruyne, he gives them that little drive in the midfield. He's creative and he's got a goal threat as well. And I think City do miss that. As good as Foden is, he's no De Bruyne. No way is he De Bruyne. Absolutely no way. And I think that the sooner they get him fit, the better for them, but worse for everyone else. Because once he's fit and he's got his eye in, it's going to be very difficult for teams to, you know, beat City and beat City to the title. That's how good he is. I mean, he may not have the sort of like natural football ability of Mesut Ozil, but Jesus Christ, he's a better footballer than him. He's got better football than him. He's more effective. And that is a proper assist and goal contribution king, not Mesut Ozil. That is it. Simple as, mate. There's levels.
He lays him on a plate, man. Backstick tappings every time. He gave Raheem Sterling a career.
It's levels, and that's exactly what they're missing. Because, and you know, Stones as well. But the thing with Man City is that I like the fact that they have to score 3 or 4 to win a game. That is not enough to score 1 goal. They just haven't got that in their locker this season because they keep on chopping and changing and getting injuries, suspensions. But let's just be honest. Come the turn of 2024, when De Bruyne is fit and everyone's fit, Rodri's got a bit of discipline. Stones is fully fit. They're going to go on a 15-game run and it'll be over. That's what City do.
Yeah. So soon as De Bruyne comes back in that team, Alvarez will be dropped. Yeah, and he was shocking at the weekend. He's been shocking for a few weeks. Yeah, and it's like it's not natural to him to play there. But as soon as De Bruyne comes back, he's getting dropped. And I reckon Grealish should be back in the team for Doku as well. I think the only reason they're using Doku at the moment, more so than Grealish, is because he's a bit more explosive. Yeah, and he looks good because he's 100 miles an hour. When really, yeah, the end product is hit and miss, isn't it? When Grealish came on, winning free kick, scored a goal, nearly set up a couple. Yeah, the one off Haaland, like a tiny little bit too much.
We did Walker.
Delivery is different, whereas with Doku, he's just a rat.
Last season, though. Sorry, cut you, Lee. But we did with Walker last season. Same thing. He was playing Rico Lewis.
Yep.
Yeah, Walker, because Walker was fully fit. When it came to the business end of the season, boom. You know, we all thought last year when they dropped points against Nottingham Forest and lost against Spurs away and Man United away, we were in a chance. But again, they had these games in hand, and that's what City does. City does, and that's a challenge for Arsenal. You know what I mean? Challenge for Arsenal. As a Luton fan wants to talk to you, T-Boys TV.
Yeah, big up, man. Big up. Come on, big up the Luton, man. Hey, listen, the potential champions are coming to town, man. Yeah, that stadium's going to be rocking tomorrow night. I'll tell you that much. But yeah, I think, well, obviously, as he's saying there, so many defensive injuries and you guys are flying. I'll be straight up. That leads us in so nicely to the last segment of the show. Smash the likes up, people. Nearly 400 inside. Make sure you are subbing to Jez's channel, Arsenal History and More. Kenny Ken 1972 on Insta, both pinned in the comment in the chat. But that leads us on nicely, man. Me personally, I think we're going to absolutely spank them. Yeah, maybe I'm being cocky and arrogant with it because I've said this many times in games and it ain't panned out like that. But I know our record there ain't great, but our record there, well, when was the last time we played them?
91.
91,
There you
92,
go.
innit?
I was 9, 10 years old. I'm now 41. Yeah, a lot's changed in that time. But I just think the only thing I'd say that they have maybe is the fact it is a tiny little pitch. Yeah, when I say tiny, obviously it's not tiny. It's just not as big as some of the others. Yeah, because it has to fit a certain criteria to get past the Premier League anyway. But because the fans are so on top of it, yeah, it just looks a lot smaller. A bit like Fulham. Fulham's ground looks tiny. Yeah, and the pitch looks tiny. When really it's not when you're in the stadium, is it? But
well, on a pitch side, it's not. But
yeah,
but I think when you think about Luton, you know, and they say they go on this big fanfare about, you know, Luton's first game of Premiership, and everyone's like, you know, getting TV cameras there, patronising them. I'm thinking, hang on here, have I got something wrong? Because I remember Luton Town from about 1982 up until 1992, Luton Town were actually a top flight side, and they, had it not been for Heysel, they would have been playing in Europe because there were periods when they finished fifth a couple of times. In 85, 86, they finished fifth, albeit on that AstroTurf. But I remember them having like the Steen brothers, Mark and Brian. They had Ricky Hill, who was half Jamaican, half Asian. He's actually the first Asian player to prominent Asian player. But at the time, we didn't know his dad was Asian because, you know, everyone thought he was, you know, fully West Indian. So Ricky Hill, you had David Moss, you had Mick Hartford playing for him, you had Jake Finley. Yeah, God bless. So if he's watching, I hope he's feeling better because I know he's suffering from prostate cancer, and he's thankfully he's in a bit of remission. But they had a really, really good team. Remember, let's not forget the FA Cup semi-final in '85 when they lost to Everton, and in '88 the League Cup final, they beat us. Martin Dibble, you know, Wilson, Danny Wilson, Gus Caesar, that final. So Luton Town
3-2, wasn't it?
Yeah, 3-2. Luton Town have always had some pedigree now as players, and they've sold players who've gone on to better things as well. So that's why I always look at Luton Town and I'm thinking, you know, obviously the youngsters know Luton Town because a lot of Arsenal fans who have left Islington to move to Luton. So we've got a lot of fans who live in the Luton Bedfordshire area, and obviously the fan camps, the people who run the fan camps, own the fan camps, they're Luton born and bred. And I don't know they're based there, but yeah, there's a lot of Luton influence in the Arsenal thing. So it's a game people are looking forward to.
The last 4 visits, I know we're going back in time. We lost 3, drew 1.
Well, yeah, definitely. I think we always found North Road a very difficult place to go to, you know, because simple reasons. They had a very, very good team. They had some good managers as well. David Pleat, you know, Luton man through and through until he got the Spurs job in '87. So that's what happened. But you know what happens with teams like Luton when you're out of top flight for too long. That's when money happens. Money goes down the drain. You know, managers get sacked. They find it difficult to get back into the top flight. You know, and then they actually fell out of the league. So they've done really well to get to the Premiership, albeit on a playoff penalty shootout against Coventry, another team when we were growing up that was in the top flight, and they were in the Premiership until 2001. So it's one of those things where, you know, I expect us to win comfortably only because there's a gulf in class between Luton, not Luton and Arsenal, but Luton and the rest of the Premiership. You know what I mean? Everton have got 10 points deducted, but you still fancy Everton to overcome them and be relatively safe. In fact,
they got a decent win at the weekend, Everton, didn't they?
Yeah, they got a good win against Forest. Against Forest, lost their last 2 home games. Forest is meant to be a fortress, but Brighton, you know, broke through and won, and Everton won. You know, were pretty comfortable in their 1-0 win. But in terms of like the gap between Sheffield United, Luton, and Burnley and the rest is massive, and I think that's why I expect us to win. But you know what? If you're going to be entertained, if you want to win, perversely, I can see Eddie Nketiah playing and Jesus being rested for Aston Villa, because this is Eddie's level, mate. Sorry, Eddie, nothing personal, right? But you scored a hat-trick at Sheffield United in the Carabao Cup against these sort of teams like your Wimbledons and all the lower league sides. You always seem to turn it on. So I'm just saying, if you want to sort of build up Eddie's confidence, play him tomorrow, because he won't let you down. He'll probably score an hat-trick because that's.
I don't want to see Eddie anywhere near Luton, mate. Just leave him at home.
You're saying.
Leave him at home. We need goals, Eddie. We need goals.
Well, that's the thing. Against
Put Martin
teams like
or
that,
Trossard up front.
yeah, but against teams like that, that's Eddie's level. Eddie won't score hat-trick against anyone else but Sheffield United, the Lutons of the world. That's his level.
I'd rather see Hazard up front, be honest. And
Well,
that's
today, the only time you see Hazard up front is probably in front of the McDonald's queue in Seven Sisters Road. That's the only time you're going to see Eden Hazard.
Oh dear. Big up to everyone in here, man. This show's been jokes. But yeah, I think we're all pretty confident, man. And why wouldn't we be? We're top of the league. We've got the best defense in the league. What's the goals scored saying? How far off the top goal scorers are we? Let's have a look. Smash these likes up as well, people. Come on.
yeah, I looked at that earlier. Forgotten now.
Man City has scored 7 more than us. Villa have scored 4 more than us.
We're at Liverpool.
Yeah.
Liverpool have scored 3 more. Blimmin' hell. Brighton has scored 1 more. Flipping hell, we're quite way down. Tottenham have scored 1 less. Newcastle has scored 3 more. So they're saying 1,
It's not like
2,
Newcastle, is it?
3,
They normally struggle
4,
for goals, but good
5.
in defence.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 teams got a better scoring record than us this season.
Yeah.
We got the best defence.
Yeah, we're the best defence. Liverpool are on 14. We're on 11. Newcastle are on 14 as well. Wow. Mate, this league's mad. Tottenham have not won a game since October, and they're still only 6 points off the top.
Good.
Yeah, long may it continue. F them.
But you know what, Isley? If you think about it this weekend, there's some 6-pointers theoretically for the Champions League and the league, like us against Aston Villa, Tottenham versus Newcastle. They're, as far as I'm concerned, they're 6-pointers. And then you've got a potential 6-pointer on Wednesday between Aston Villa against Man City for different kind of reasons. Aston Villa for the Europe and probably the Champions League, and Villa, City for the title. But then you've got another game where I put on my Instagram on 8:15. You've got Man United Chelsea or Aston Villa Man City. 10 years ago, you'll be watching a Man City Chelsea game without fail. But now, looking the way the league is and look at the state of both Man City and Chelsea.
You're watching City all day long.
It's highly likely that the majority of people in this football fans.
But do you know what's funny though is that Chelsea Man United game is probably going to be more entertaining than the Villa City game. But everyone's going to watch the Villa City game.
Yeah, but if you think about what's at stake, the football that both teams are playing, the fact that Villa are playing very good football at home, Man City, the state of play now, you'd be rather watch that game than the Man United Chelsea game. But for historical reasons, that's probably a bigger game on paper, but by design and in terms of what we're seeing now, that game's probably not going to decide anything. It's probably not even going to decide Europe. That's the levels of both sides at the moment. They're both in transition. Man United,
they're both in freefall. That's what they're in. Yeah, Chelsea.
I'm more polite than you, Lee. You're not polite. You say freefall.
No, Chelsea have gone from 10th to 10th with their win against the hipster manager at the weekend. Yeah. When was the last time Chelsea were in the top 10, like above 10th? When was the last time that actually happened for a sustained period of time? Yeah, since the owners got there, they've just nosedived, man. It's crazy. Yeah, and then you look at Man United. I mean, their manager's an absolute disgrace. Some of the comments that guy has said this season, like after the Newcastle game, he sat there with a grin on his face and said, well, we got a goal that was disallowed for offside, so we could have drawn the game. Imagine Fergie saying that back in the day. Imagine Jose saying that, the fallout if Jose said that.
But if Fergie was there, Rashford wouldn't get a game for him. Martial wouldn't be playing for him. Bruno Fernandes wouldn't be captain. Only out of all the players that are at the club now, the only player that he'll probably give a game is is a Fergie type player, probably McTominay because he's a Fergie type player, and probably Mainu. All the rest of them, he wouldn't touch from a bars pole.
It's crazy how far them two clubs have fallen, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, you think about the Liberties, right? Liberties, and they're not there at the moment, but you think that Jesse Lingard and Paul Pogba have left an indelible mark on the mentality of Man United, and it's a stink. It's like a stink bomb that used to be let off in the science classes. Man United, they're not just crap. They stink. They stink the place out. They're an eyesore, and that's down to the mentality of players who are into this social media BS. Who don't care about Man United and don't care about the work rate. They love the fact that they're Man United players and that's on their payslips. But in terms of having a Man United mentality, do me a favour.
I mean, look at that fella Nacho, yeah. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, Mason Greenwood, trash like that wouldn't be allowed to clean the toilets at Old Trafford. Trash like that. Yeah,
look at this guy Nacho kid. He scores one of the best goals you see all season, right? But this kid is so shameless that he's shushing Copenhagen the other day, and then they go and lose. And then after they've lost the game, you'd think, oh, okay, he scores a screamer against Everton, fair play, nice goal, yeah. He then goes against Galatasaray the following week, scores after 10 minutes, and goes and shushes Galatasaray. Mate, have some shame. Yeah, and then they go and draw that game. It's like somebody needs to. Can you imagine Roy Keane grabbing hold of him? Wait, he wouldn't get a game if back in that era anyway. Yeah, could you imagine having the balls to do that? Yeah, Roy Keane would punch him up.
Yeah, but that's the thing. There's not enough Roy Keane players there, though. Footballers nowadays, the trouble with footballers nowadays, the thing is that the only coach that can allow. There's only two coaches who will win a battle between a player and themselves. Klopp and Guardiola. All the rest of them are into this sort of, you're not allowed to shout at a player nowadays because he'll go to his agent and go to the owner and you'll get disciplined. So you've got to be friends with them. You've got to motivate them differently. Like as you and Rance were talking about, just had a discussion about how can Ten Hag motivate players who are on 375 grand a week. How can he motivate Rashford, for instance? I mean, Rashford, don't get me wrong, I'll shake his hand to get that money, but Rashford is still the same player he was when he scored those 2 goals against us 7 years ago. He hasn't developed his game at all, yet he thinks he's a world-class player. Rashford wouldn't get a game under Fergie. I know I said this earlier in the context of conversation, but that's the Man United they're dealing with. I actually feel sorry for Man United fans who have seen great teams. I don't feel sorry for the London Man United fans or these superstar Man United fans. Because as far as I'm concerned, they might as well be Gooners or they might as well be Chelsea fans. The Man United fans I feel about are the ones who have Man United in their DNA. The Manx, the real Man United fans, the Manx. People like Tate, McCullough, real Manx. People from the Salfords, Sale, all those areas of Manchester or Lancashire, those ones. I feel sorry for people like Saeed. I feel sorry for him because they're proper mates. Not that lot. Superstar lot.
Yeah, but they're not allowed to criticise me.
Not the ones from Cobham when you see the coaches going up.
They can. I'll tell you one thing. They can go and race each other in the River Thames. All those. Have a race with all the slugs and the dirty water there. Stuff you lot. You can rant all you like. Like what's that Brent de Cesare, the copper from Nottingham. Please, I'm probably more Man United than he is, and I hate the club.
I love taking the piss out of them. There's a lovely fellow. I mention no names. He's older than me. He's got to be knocking 70 something, maybe 70s. And I said to him a few weeks ago, I said, what's happening with Man United? And he said, it's shocking. I said, do you get up there anymore? And he went, what do you mean? I said, well, do you ever get up to Old Trafford anymore, to see Man United? And he went, no, not really now. He said, it's just too much hassle. Yeah, I said, I get that. I understand what you're telling me. Now, this guy, right, remembers people like Edwards from Man United, one of the great footballers that apparently it could have ever been. I said, well, how many times have you actually been to Old Trafford then? And he went, 40 times. I'm like, fucking, in your lifetime, you've been to your home club 40 times. Jesus Christ. And
Where's this guy from?
Sorry?
Where's this guy from?
Here, where I live.
I can only
It is what it is.
I shrug my shoulders is what he just said. I shrugged his shoulders.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
This is the thing, though. Listen, like just because you don't live in the area, don't mean you're not a fan. Yeah, but at the same time, if you have the facilities to be able to go to games, yeah, then you should be going to games. Yeah, like,
but can I ask a question?
Unless you don't like the club, like and the way it's run, then you'd boycott. Of course, I get that. Yeah, because there's loads of Manchester and around. Go on.
That's sounding impertinent. I don't want to sound impertinent, and please do not take offence.
That's a good word, that Kenny. That's a very good word.
I don't want to sound impertinent or presumptuous, but when I've been brought up, when I hear Man United fans speaking or Man City fans, Liverpool fans, I'm expecting and will prefer to hear a Liverpool fan who's analysing Liverpool on TV with a Scouse accent. In terms of Man United as well, I like to hear someone from Manchester. I don't want to hear a Cockney make. I don't want to hear some street guy who's a Mancunian, or you even got a street girl who's a Man City fan. How are they supposed to convince me that they're the real deal? Now, I'm not saying that. I'm not advocating, players, Scousers, only Scousers support Liverpool or Everton or the two Manchester clubs. But I think that the ones I've heard, I don't feel their love for Man United. I don't feel it. But when I hear Scousers talking about Liverpool and I hear proper Max talking about Man United, Man City, I feel it. I feel their passion. I feel empathy for them as a fellow football fan. I don't feel. Maybe it's because of the thing of social media and the fact that there's a lot of superstars, a lot of people who've made a career out of social media, and they've got they're now stakeholders and got their pound of flesh from the game. Maybe I'm prejudiced in that, but in terms of what I've been brought up in, especially with the 80s, that's how I feel. Don't take it personally because it's not personal, but I think that a lot of the people who, accusations of Man United fans are glory hunters from the south. I think it rings true in some cases, and it's definitely.
I get that. But I think we're all glory hunters, really, aren't we? Let's be real. I know you're born and bred around the area, both of you guys here for Arsenal, yeah. But I think a lot of fans, not just the newer fans, but even my generation, yeah, glory fans, glory hunters. Yeah, we want trophies, yeah, which is cool. I want trophies, yeah, and that's why I get so pissed off that this club don't win any. Or like the odd cup here and there. But same with Man United. Like, man, if you look at the biggest clubs on the planet, yeah, like they've got the biggest fan bases. Why? Because they win the most trophies. And look at Man City, the growth of that club. They went to, where was it? Was it Singapore? They went somewhere in there. I think it was Singapore they went. Yeah. The amount of people rammed in that stadium was crazy. Absolutely crazy. Look at when we go to America. And that is because we win trophies and have won trophies, and fans go with the club.
I make it right.
Chelsea have gone like that with their fan base globally.
Yeah, I do make it right. I do understand the situation because, you look at some people have reasons for supporting the club. I support Arsenal because it's my local club, simple as, and I've been brought up with it in an Arsenal family. I do have cousins who are Spurs. But in terms of like my blood family, we've been because we were brought, all of us, because me and brother lived in Islington and my mum brought us up in Islington, and she became an Islingtonian herself. It's Arsenal, and that's the thing. Maybe but I do think that in some cases I think TV has a lot to do with it. With live football more live football than we ever had when I was a kid. Youngsters are going to have choice. They're not going to support their local clubs. They're going to want to support the teams that's successful. They're going to want to identify players. I remember there's a lot of a lot of people in the 80s, because of the success of Liverpool, they all became Liverpool fans, or some, fans, black fans, love John Barnes, so they started supporting Liverpool. And then obviously we've had a lot of people from a lot of people became Arsenal fans from all over the country, Birmingham, Leeds, even parts of Manchester and all of London, because Ian Wright they could identify with Ian Wright. Ian Wright was Ian Wright was a guy who made good. The guy who got rejected for every football trial that he'd been to, a South London boy who had to go and find a job because he couldn't do what he really wanted to, work for the council, and then got his trial with Douglas Hamlet, and then became a man. And the way he carried himself, the way he dressed, the way he spoke, that I identify with a lot of, young people, mainly, people from my community. So they're all going to support Arsenal. I suppose that's what TV does for you. It does happen. And then it's the dads, isn't it? If your dad supports a club, you want to follow your dad everywhere if you're a boy.
Facts.
It is. Football is global now, and it's a different game. And you're quite right, Kenny. The fact it's so, like Lee, you said tonight, you're going to watch Celta Vigo against
against Cadiz.
I mean, back in the day, we never got to see those sort of games. No chance, never, ever. All we had was matches a day and the big match on a Sunday, and that was it. The fact is now you can got so many streaming platforms. You can watch any game.
I can sit and watch AFC Wimbledon against Ramsgate tonight in the FA Cup if I want to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Or I could watch Aveley versus Welling. Yeah, and then National League South. Yeah, Syria, Torino at Atlanta. Yeah, I could have watched the Australian game. Flipping hell, that ended 4-3. Yeah, MacArthur versus Adelaide United, 4-3. Yeah, I can watch Austrian Bundesliga. Yeah, Greek Super League, Portuguese League. Yeah, Lisbon are playing tonight. Yeah, Fenerbahce 1-0 up. I could watch that if I want. I could put that on. Yeah, and you're right, Jez. Yeah, it used to be one game picked every week for TV if you were lucky. Yeah, do you know what I mean?
It was regional as well. It was like regional as well, like the London LWT, the big match, and LBWT. The main match involved a London club or Luton or Watford, because they were in the LWT area, and then all the highlights used to be matches that were in regional areas that came from Granada, Times TV, Yorkshire TV, all that sort of ones.
It's a different, and it doesn't matter if you live in Edinburgh and you support Arsenal now, because that's the way football is. I mean, there's a young lad, it makes me laugh. He's a lovely little kid. He's about 9. And I see him he's got a Barcelona shirt. And I chat to him sometimes. I said, why do you support Barcelona? And he went, because they're the best. And he's English, right? His parents are English. And I said, don't you support an England team at all? He said, no, I support Barcelona. I went, fair enough. Okay.
But that's it now. Like I said to you before, my nephew, he's 11 now. He turned 11 in August, right? And like, lovely boy, man. My sister has brought both of them kids up so well, man. Like, such a sick mum, my sister. Right? And I used to buy him an Arsenal kit. Yeah, every Christmas, every birthday, he wants an Arsenal kit, and I'd get his name Logan on the back and the age. Yeah, so like when he was 10, I got Logan 10 on the back. Yeah, when he was 9, Logan 9 or whatever. At Christmas, I'd get him the away kit, like the home kit, whatever for birthday, and then the opposite for Christmas. Yeah. And I text my sister in July. I said, what does Logan want for his birthday this year? Yeah, I said, should I get him the new Arsenal shirt? I said, he ain't getting that monstrosity yellow thing. Yeah, I said, I ain't buying that. Yeah, I said, but if he wants the home kit, I'll get him the home kit. Yeah, and he sent me a voice message off of my sister's phone. No, Uncle Lee, I don't support them anymore. They're rubbish. I want Real Madrid, Vinny Jr. 7 on the back. What can I say, man? Just bottled a title, and the kid's he's just turning 11. Yeah, and I'm like, oh, if he's already given up, mate. He's given up already. Like, what can I say? So he got his Vinny Jr. 7 on the back. Happy days. He's happy. But again, he used to sit and play his FIFA on his computer, on his PS4, PS5, whatever. He used to play as Arsenal. Now he plays as Madrid. He's bored of Arsenal. Yeah, but this is modern kids now, man. Like, they pick and choose their teams just like that. Yeah, and they'll drop that team to go to that team. It's different, isn't it? It's not like back in the day, man. Like you said, like no games on TV. I'm going to do Celta Vigo watch along tonight. Like, I'd never have been able to watch that game ever. Yeah, like literally. Yeah, until maybe the last 15 years, 10 years. Yeah, maybe less than that. Yeah, I would never have been able to watch that game. Yeah, but it's mad. Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, bless up to my little nephew, man. He was buzzing when he got. Do you know how much Real Madrid charge on their website for a shirt with Vinny Jr. on the back?
Fortune, I expect.
160 euro just for the t-shirt because he's an adult size. Yeah, he's only 11, but he's an adult size. He's a small man size. Yeah, 160 euro for Vinny Jr.
Real Madrid and Real Madrid.
At least they win stuff.
Are money makers. They're money makers, aren't they, Real Madrid?
Well, at least they're winning stuff. You don't mind paying it if they're winning. Yeah, but mate, yeah, unbelievable. 160 euro that cost me. Crazy. Well, at least he's happy.
Yeah.
Anyway, big up to everyone inside, man. Big up to everyone inside. Big up to Mr. Tiebox as well for the donation as well. Good evening. Good evening. We're winning the league. I knew it. And we will see it in a few months. Just hope he secures it in Jan. It ain't getting secured in Jan, bro. Bins off Eddie, brings in a striker. Getting Timber back could be great. Good health and peace to you all. And to you and yours, man. Big up to you always. Always love, bro. That leads me on very nicely, actually. Nice seamless link there, ads. Big up to you. Timber coming back in January. What does that mean that Zinchenko will be benched, Jez? Because I said this on the show earlier that January and February are probably the two coldest months in the UK. Like December's cold, but January, February are freezing, like real bad. And coming back from an injury that is a long-term injury, same with Kevin De Bruyne at Man City, your muscle's not going to be as warm, if that makes sense. And then you're not up to the level that other players are. So now you've got to try and get back to that level, and you could do another injury. I'm hoping that this Timber lad's going to be good when he comes back, because I don't want to see him rushed in. Yeah, and hopefully we don't overplay him, because I fear, Jez, that he probably will do another injury if we rush him back. What do you think?
I totally agree with that. I've always said, in my book, February is the coldest month of the year. It seems to me like we're in the pit of winter, you know, with a way of looking out to get back up to March when it starts to, you know, whatever. But yeah, I don't want him rushed back. I don't want to see this fella cropped, because at the end of the day, he's had a bad injury. Let's give him a chance to get back to a level. Yeah, and then maybe 10, 15 minutes at the end of the game just to let him get into the flow. Don't start him, Arteta. Don't rush him back, which you do have this awful tendency to do. Would I rather him playing than Zinchenko? Yes, but I don't want him thrown straight in and we put him under the bus. Let the guy get back in. Yeah, he's a young player. We don't want him to have serious stresses on that injury. We know, we've seen it happen to players. John Barnes, man, look what happened to him. You know, practically ruined him in the end. So let's just let it build nice and slow, get him back up to a level, and then come the summer, keep him going, keep him fit, start again next year. That's the way I'd do it if I was a manager. I wouldn't be rushing him back. I'll be listening to my medical team and saying, what do you think, boys? They're saying, give him 10, give him 15, let him get on the pitch, let him have a run out, but don't stress him. End of story.
Yeah, what about you, Kenny?
Well, definitely. I think Jez is right. We got to be very careful with his career. That's happened with Jesus. I'm not saying we rushed him back, but you know, he did have a niggle after that. So you can't rush a player like that, no matter how much he's needed. You know, when he's really ready to go, it could give us we can get him back in February, give us 3 months of his best football. But he has to be fully fit, because the way games are going to become thick and fast. We're in the last 6 in the Champions League. If we get a draw that's favourable for us, we could go into the quarters, and that could get April. And if we're still in the FA Cup, if we beat Liverpool, I don't know if we will beat Liverpool, but you know the situation: FA Cup, Champions League, go for the league. We're going to need him. We're going to need him fresh, you know, because you know. The question is not where Timber plays, is whether Ben White can get a game, because on this form, you do not leave out Tomiyasu. You just can't. It'd be perverse to do that. It's self-harming, leaving out a player like that, even though he's got an injury now. it's come to a situation where we worry when Tommy Ass is not playing because we've got Aston Villa and we've got Liverpool at Anfield. Whatever you think of Liverpool or Aston Villa, they will score goals, regardless of how great their defence is. We're going to see the truth about it. We're going to learn a lot from, sorry, not use the word see the truth. We're going to learn a lot in the next couple of weeks about our team, whether we're well equipped to challenge for this league or win it. Because Anfield, Villa Park, you know, the thing in our favour when we play against Aston Villa is that they're going to put all the emotions and everything on the line physically to beat Man City on Wednesday. Will they have enough in the gas to beat us? I hope they don't. It could be a good opportunity to play them. But Anfield, I'll tell you now, we score 3, Liverpool will make sure they score. Will make sure they will score 3 or 4 to win the game. Doesn't matter how great, you know, Gabriel and Saliba are. That is their biggest test. And as good as they are, they will not keep a clean sheet at Anfield. I can tell you that now. So we've got to be prepared to outscore Liverpool, because that is the most difficult home away game I've ever seen. Liverpool over the years, especially with this manager, they're a machine. It's probably harder to play Liverpool at Anfield than it is to play City at the Etihad. At least you know what's coming with City. At least you get thrashed. But you know, there is a situation where you might be able to keep them quiet. Probably 1 out of 10 times, but at Anfield, it's impossible. It's impossible.
Yeah.
Then, you know, Alexander-Arnold doesn't know whether he's a midfielder or a right back, but he's had a fantastic season. Do you see the goals they scored yesterday? They're all world class.
4 of them were unbelievable, man. Honestly,
What I mean?
4 of them. That Trent free kick was quality, man. Right?
What about the goal from McAllister?
McAllister's goal, screamer, man. Yeah, Endo's goal, top bins, and then the Trent 4th goal. Like, you just knew they'd come back, man. You knew they'd come back. You knew Fulham would bottle it. Mikel Arteta's done a press conference today for the game on Fulham. He said, we've assessed, he's talking about Tomiyasu. We assessed him after the game, took him off as a precaution, so we'll wait. Whether it's useful to use him or not, we'll decide tomorrow. He's a strong boy and hopefully he'll be fine. He then went on to say about Ben White, after the injury, the way we decided to manage it, his load, that's a good buzzword. You mean manage his games. He's feeling perfect and back to fitness. He's played some minutes and is now in a good place. I personally think that we're going to be seeing Ben White tomorrow rather than Tomiyasu then. So, and listen, if we know Tommy's had an issue with his calves quite a lot. So let's not rush him back, albeit he's been brilliant this season. Yeah, let's not just rush him back in for the sake of rushing him back in. With all due respect to Luton, we should be beating them without him. Yeah, like we could even put some of the other players.
We've still got to earn the right.
Yeah, obviously Vieira's out until January. Partey's out, Smith Rowe's out, and Timber's out. Other than that, we've got a full squad. And listen, if we can't beat Luton without some of these players, then we might as well just fold up shop.
Well, they got a point against Liverpool. I'm just saying, let's say it, you know what I mean? I'm just saying. I'm just trying to build the game up for everyone.
Listen, this show's been cracking, man. Big up to everybody who's tuned in. I'm going live with Henry in 10 minutes, so we're going to wrap this up. I need to get my my chicken on the go. I'm going to do some nice chicken fajitas. So I need to get that chicken cooking now. And then I'm going to go live with Henry in about 10, 15 minutes. So, yeah, big up to everyone who's tuned in. Big up to everyone who's liked the show. Big up to everybody who's donated as well. Appreciate it. If I haven't read them out, I have replied to in the comments. And big up to everybody who's sub. Pinned comment is Jez's channel, Arsenal History and More. And Kenny Ken 1972 Insta. Jez, appreciate your time always, man. What you got coming up, mate?
8 o'clock tonight. I'm doing a match review and a bit of history and a preview for tomorrow's game. So it won't be a long show, but I'm going to do that.
There you go. Arsenal History and More, people get subbed. Kenny, what you got coming up, mate? Obviously, you're going to be
review of the both here tomorrow. And, you know, I'm sure Jez has got something on Wednesday. And then Thursday, it's my wife's birthday. My wife's birthday. I am under her basic. I'm at our beck and call. Whatever she wants, she gets. It's a special birthday for her. She's going to be 50. I don't think she wants people to know.
Half century.
50th birthday. I've got my hair cut under command from herself. She's got everyone come round the house. I love to. So I am going to be. I don't know how I'm going to watch Tottenham versus West Ham on Amazon, but I'm sure you'll give me some ideas. I don't think he should even let me have my phone, but I'll leave the TV on in one of the rooms and see what happens. Shall I leave the volume? Shall I put the volume up during the party? Or shall I,
Yeah. Do it.
That's too much for liberty, isn't it?
Try and link your AirPods up to the TV or something, and just keep one in your ear.
Yeah.
There's always a way. Where there's a will, and there's always a fucking will, there is a way.
I'll tell you one thing. Any man who comes around the house and doesn't like football, that's. I do not want to be. I don't want. If my wife's friend's going to bring their husbands, don't bring a bloke who don't like football or sport. I don't want to talk to him. I've got nothing to say to men who don't like sport or football. There's no conversation. I don't want to talk about anything else. I haven't got a feminine side. I'm not metrosexual. I'm a man. Go away. Stay away from me.
Quite right, Kelly. Well said.
Well said indeed. Very quickly, this comment here. At the beginning of the season, you gave us 0 chance of winning the title. What's your honest thoughts right now? I'd say 50-50. I'd say 50-50. I'm going to sit on the fence because we see last January that we absolutely nosed that window up. Yeah, now we're looking to get rid of Kivior on loan. Yeah, Ramsdale could be going. Right, and let's be real, the bench is still the same bench as last season. So I want to see a big January. I want to see a striker. I want to see a midfielder. I want to see a centre back. But I'm greedy. Yeah, I'm greedy. So yeah,
you're back. Paulinho. I'm hearing rumours Paulinho now. First,
Paulinho, Ivan Toney, and then go and get that that Anderson fella from Palace at centre back. Get him in. He's a shit house. Get him in. Yeah, and he wouldn't mind playing second fiddle to the pair that we've got. So yeah.
I don't know. Well, Rob Holding plays second fiddle to him at Palace.
Mate. I see something the other day saying we're going to bring Rob Holding back. I swear to God. Yeah, I don't know whether that was a banter or not. Yeah, but if we bring Rob Holding back to this football club, oh my days, just close the shop. Wow. Yeah, just close the shop.
You're up now.
Yeah,
burn the stadium down.
He can't even get a game at Palace, please. No, like we don't need any more cheerleaders at the club. We've got El Neni already. Yeah, we are going to wrap this up. It's going to redirect to Henry Wright TV. He's absolutely buzzing. Yeah, like absolutely off his nut. Yeah, shows you their standard, doesn't it?
One point.
Yeah, do you remember Thierry Henry 19 years ago at White Hart Lane? Yeah, and when Tarico was jumping up and down, that famous interview he done after, he goes, celebrating a draw. Tells you their standard, a draw. Yeah, they're celebrating a draw. They haven't won a game since October, and we're in December, and they're celebrating. Wow, 1 point out of 12. Yeah, tells you their level, isn't it? Yeah, one chip Henry.
Good, I love it.
One thing I will say, I phoned him up here. He was on his watch long, I was on mine, and I phoned him up at half time. I said, "Yeah, you're getting slapped second half." He goes, "We'll get a draw out of this." Yeah, so fair play to him. He was confident they got a draw, but either way, celebrating a draw, that shows the standard of that football club, mate. But yeah, I'm going to be on with Henry. Then I'm going to be back on Lee Reacts about half past 7 UK time, roughly, for Celta Vigo versus Cadiz. Nice fishing, Cadiz. Anyone who's been to Cadiz, best fish markets on the planet. So yeah, go and get yourself down there if you're ever in Spain. And then after that, I've got a video coming out on here. We're going to talk about Ramsdale potentially going to Newcastle, unless David De Gea has signed for them already, and then I'll cancel that and talk about Kivior, because apparently Kivior could be going. But either way, there will be a video on here about 11 o'clock tonight, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Tomorrow I'm on with Rants on here, 2:30. Then I'm on with Flowers, Terry Flewers, and then after that, watch along match day settings, Fat and Cam's player rating. So yeah, man, after my daughter's fleeced me for her birthday last month and Christmas this month, I need to start working harder. But we're out of here. Big up to everyone who's tuned in. Go and spam Henry Wright TV saying celebrating a draw, shameless. Put that in his comment section. And we're out of here. Sub to the lads. We're out. Adios, amigos. Ciao.